Oh my God, are we gonna go live? Oh my God. I guess I'm live. I didn't mean to go live right now, but here we are. All right. It is Saturday night. It's 10:13. How y'all doing? This is hilarious. I went to my restream to see if it was connected, and clearly I'm live now. I'm just finishing my decaf coffee and my little dessert bar. And you know what? Maybe I'll edit this later, but I don't even care. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday night. You're probably out doing fun things. And I am obsessed with learning about the mindset. Or you're probably sleeping like a normal person. I'll put a shoebox here. And then I put this thing on top. I'm showing you all my secrets. And I have my pen from the long room, as we learned in the other video. So this is video 6 of How to Get Anything You Want by Elsie and Benedict. And we left off her talking about every thought seed sown or permitted to take root in the mind produces its own harvest. Yes, girl. That's the truth. Let me move my mic here. I wasn't even set up. All right. Can you see this? Let me go on Zoom. This is just the life. I love this book. I was doing a little meal prep, and it's late on Saturday. I was finishing my laundry, still getting my stuff together. Look, I didn't even put my hair down. Maybe I'll put my hair down later and show you my beautiful curls, but I love this decaf coffee. It's a vanilla decaf coffee with some half and half. I had a lot of creamer and half when I was traveling, and now I gotta wean myself off of it. All right, we're gonna jump in. This is gonna be video 6. I'm gonna have to edit this. You know what? Let me push record and I'm gonna edit the version. All right, we're editing this. Welcome everybody. This is video 6 of How to Get Anything You Want by Elsie and Benedict. I am reading this whole book and I am just sharing my thoughts as I read. So we left off, we were on predominant moods make your life. We were still on the first section. And she was just talking about your subconscious is like a garden. You can cultivate it and it will bring forth in exact accordance with the seeds your habit self has been dropping into the soil. Your mind is a garden, your thoughts are seeds. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. James Allen in As a Man Thinketh really talks about the metaphor of your mind as a garden. Your subconscious mind is that precious soil, and every thought you think is a seed. Bad seed, bad fruit. Good seed, good fruit. So every thought seed sown or permitted to take root in the mind produces its own harvest. Let me see if I can get a little drawing here. Yeah, we got it right here. Okay. Yeah. All right, so this is the mind. We have the conscious thinking, subconscious feeling, and then we have our body, which we act from, and then we get results in our life. Otherwise known as, we have seeds in that conscious thinking mind, soil in the subconscious emotional mind, and then we, depending on what we plant in that soil, we get flowers or weeds. So the subconscious mind, she is referring to every thought seed you let drop, every thought seed sown or permitted to enter the subconscious mind and take root will produce its harvest. And so we can always see by the harvest we reap, by the actions we take, what kind of seeds we've been planting. And it all starts with thought. Okay. She goes on to say, first, that seeds produce a tiny sprout that can be easily snipped off if attacked as soon as it appears above the surface. Pardon me. That's what I love about doing these lives, because I don't have to edit it. I mean, I'm going to edit the first part because I was not ready for that, but only the people watching it live will get that special Special little edition. All right. So she says, first, that seed produces a tiny sprout that can be easily snipped off if attacked as soon as it appears above the surface. So when we find ourselves feeling a certain way, we can catch it right then and there. Again, remember, you can't control every thought that comes into your mind, but you can control the thoughts that you get emotionally involved with, the ones that you nurture, that you water, that you cultivate. And we know how we feel. Like this is, we're just messing with ourselves if we allow ourselves to be angry, be upset. It's okay to be angry and upset, but are we indulging it? Are we staying there? Are we talking about it, cultivating it, growing more, spreading more of those seeds? We're the ones that suffer. But it's this false sense of empowerment. So these seeds produce a tiny sprout that can be easily snipped off if attacked, really stopped as soon as possible. If you water it with further leanings, impulses, and thoughts along the same line, it grows and grows. Sooner or later, it will blossom into an act. Then other acts of a like nature will appear till it is covered with flowers, beautiful ones. If the original seed was beautiful, or poisonous ones if the thought was destructive. The act flowers, which have sprung from thought seeds, produce the fruit we daily see in the form of our environment. Unless we take matters into our own hands and prevent it, the seeds of that fruit will fall back again into the soil many times multiplied and bring forth a new and larger crop. Woof. No matter what you have been planting in your life garden, and no matter how bitter its fruit, remember, you own the garden. And yes, you are its only gardener. Not your neighbors, not your family, not your spouse, not your coworkers. You are responsible. So if we find ourselves in environments where people are just complaining and crabby and all of that, that is on them. If we are letting it get under our skin, dropping into our subconscious mind, that's on us. So she says, no matter what you've been planting in the garden of your life, what was planted in you when you were younger, to be honest, because before the ages of like 8, like before we have that reasoning mind, our conscious faculties all developed, we are just a reflection of the people around us. Like we are being programmed, because it's like this. Okay. And when I share this with parents, right, it's pretty startling. So before the age of like, I would say 10, 7, 8, 9, whatever, we don't have this top part. We are just little open cups. And everything that's happening around us comes right into our subconscious emotional mind. That's how we get programmed. That's why we act the way we act and get results that usually our family members get, our society, our culture. Like birds of a feather flock together. Monkey see, monkey do. But if we want to change it, this is how you do it. Just how things get planted in there. If we don't like what's there, plant new things, plant new things. You might have seen those videos on social media, how they have a cup with like dirty water or like coffee grounds in it. And that's kind of like our subconscious mind. It's like full of dirt or grime. Well, how do they get out? They pour fresh water in and they just like, filter all that nasty stuff out by putting the good in. It washes away the negative. So that's how we change the programming of our subconscious mind. So she's saying that no matter what you've been through, no matter what's been planted, no matter how bitter the fruit or how terrible your results are, remember you own the garden and you are its only gardener. You can uproot much more easily than you suppose. The bad plants that have been growing there, plant new ones of any kind you really want. Okay, so you can uproot and change much more easily than you think you can. The bad plants that have been growing there. Oh, you can uproot the bad plants that have been growing there. You can plant new ones of any kind that you really want, anything that you really want, and reap their lovely harvest more fully and more quickly than you have ever dreamed possible. Yes, please. I would love to do that. Nothing is impossible to the great inner subconscious of man. Miracles are performed every day in the realm of disease, of business, of bad habits, in the intimate realms of human character and in the outward world of achievement. Yes, they do. Miracles happen. I often say, like, I mean, it's a miracle that I'm sober. Like, I am so grateful that I'm sober. It's a freaking miracle. I prayed for a miracle, honestly. And it didn't happen immediately, but it ended up happening. And now I'm almost 6 years sober, and I'm so grateful. But yeah, a miracle I needed because I could not do it by myself. I had to really, really open my subconscious mind up to my higher power. I had to surrender. And that's really what it is to work with a subconscious mind. Our logical mind, that top conscious thinking part, does not understand the emotions. This is the thing that runs our life. And until I was ready for a new idea, for a new vision for my life, nothing was ever going to happen. So it's not what's up here, what we think, that dictates our life. It's what we feel and what's programmed down here that dictates the results in our life. So miracles. Also, if you haven't signed up yet, sign up. I'll put the link below, but sign up for the Miracles Activation Week at the Napoleon Hill Institute. Dr. Joe Vitale, the president of the Napoleon Hill Institute, is doing a Command Miracles Activation Week. It starts Tuesday, September 10th, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. It goes for 4 days. It's going to be amazing. There's so many great speakers, and I'm going to be hosting. I'm the MC, yours truly. So sign up for that. It's a free event, free 4-day event. It's amazing. It's life-changing. Miracles. All right. So nothing is impossible to the great inner subconscious of mind of man. Miracles are performed every day in the realm of disease, business, bad habits, and intimate realms of human character and in the outward world of achievement. The only thing necessary is to learn how and then do it. Simple enough. Learn how and then do it. We have to be students. And if you're listening to this, you are. Few people change themselves or their lives because they maintain the attitude that it is impossible to change. That is 98% of people, y'all. That was me before I really got serious about this. Few people change themselves or their lives because they maintain the attitude that it's impossible to change. And other people will commiserate with them and agree with them. You know, like, it takes no energy, attention, effort, focus to stay mediocre, to not achieve, to not move the needle in your life or achieve things. It takes no energy, attention, focus, effort. It does, however, take energy, attention, effort, focus to accomplish things in life. We must try. And I heard somebody, and I had the same sentiment. It's like, there's this sense in the world of, like, we just want to be cool as cucumbers. Like, we want to be so cool. Like, why are you trying so hard? It's like, if you want to do anything, it's like Kobe Bryant or Tiger Woods. Like, they went all in, and other players are like, yeah, dude, you're going all in, huh? You're going full out. Yeah, that's what it takes. That is what it takes. So to be seen as a blowhard or trying really hard, please, that's what I want to look like. Instead of like nonchalant, being all cool about it, like too cool for school. No, I'm too school for cool. I am too school for cool. I don't care if I look cool. I already, not that I ever did, but I thought I did in my mind. And I was just getting nowheres. I was getting nowheres. So only few people change themselves and their lives because they keep that attitude that it's impossible to change. They keep pointing their cannons in the wrong direction and then lose hope because they accomplish the wrong results. They just keep getting negative results. Only learn this law of moods and apply it. The law of moods, she's saying predominant moods make your life. Napoleon Hill always talks about that. Positive mental attitude, PMA. So as I was preparing for the Miracles event, like kind of just doing some notes, and Napoleon Hill wrote a book called You Can Work Your Own Miracles. Like later in life, he really got into kind of the spiritual aspects of manifestation, really, and wealth and abundance. But in that book, he says, step number 1, if you really want to cultivate miracles in your life, it starts with a positive mental attitude. You have to have a good attitude. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. If you're filled with negative, pessimistic thoughts, that's okay. But if you want to have miracles, you got to change that. You got to be more positive. You got to look on the bright side. He says it's like 2 train tracks. Depending on which way you go, bad mood, good mood, will dictate what follows. And that's what she's saying. Elsie Benedict. Predominant moods make your life. Only learn the law of moods and apply it. Really what they're saying is the law of emotion, the law of vibration is what will attract everything. How you feel, your moods, your emotions, your vibration is your attraction point. We just have to learn the law of this. What dictates this? This. And then our 5 physical senses, that's why we have to be so careful of who we surround ourselves with. What are we exposing ourselves to? What kind of conversations? What kind of social media? What kind of Netflix? What kind of music? I was getting coffee earlier this morning and I was listening. I never really turned the radio on, like FM rather. And I was like, I'll just turn on the radio. And it's like, I don't know. And I'm like, oh God, is it just because I'm old? But like, I like the beats of some music these days, but what are they saying? Like, it's so, I don't know how else to say it, like low class. It's just low vibe. It's like reality TV ghetto stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm not cool anymore, but if you really listen to some of the lyrics, you're like, what are they saying? What the hell? That's like dysfunction junction. All the relationship stuff they're talking about, I was like, no, thank you. I am not letting that into the precious, precious soil of my subconscious mind. That's how people get messages to you, through nice poppy music. Like, what are we really listening to? That was a side note. Anywho. All right. So when we learn the law of emotions, of moods, and we apply it, that's all we need to know. You will soon see why you have hitherto failed to realize your ambitions. If you cannot get your emotions right, if you can't get your moods right, you're going to learn real quick that is the culprit behind you not really getting to where you want to get to. Even if you temporarily reach some sort of accomplishment, you're not going to feel good. I've been there. I'm sure you have too. No man arrives at the jail. Oh, I love this. James Allen says this. No man arrives at the jailhouse or the poorhouse unexpectedly. You don't just accidentally slip on a banana peel and become rich, or slip on a banana peel and end up in the jailhouse. You don't just end up in the jail or the poorhouse unexpectedly. Your friends may be surprised, but you will know that you have been traveling toward that place for a long while, and that road was paved by your habitual feelings and moods. A famous nerve specialist once said to me, there are no such things as sudden breakdowns. The victim of nervous prostration, or any unexpected giving way has been preparing for and bringing about that very thing for a long while beforehand. Yeah, I remember when I used to have like big panic attacks or like anxiety attacks. I was like, oh my God, it's like, this has been brewing for weeks. Like, your nervous system can only take so much. That's why it's so important to regulate your body, your nervous system, get into that sympathetic. Just relax, breathe, tap. Nick Ortner, the CEO of the Tapping Solutions, the EFT tapping, he's going to be on our event next week, y'all. Nick Ortner. Can't believe it. Tapping Solutions. He's going to be teaching us all about miracles. Isn't that going to be great? It's going to be wonderful. Because this is the truth. Like I said, your emotions, how you feel, is your attraction point. That's what Elsie Lincoln Benedict is saying. Your moods will make your life. How you feel is everything. It's the only thing. It's how the universe operates. It's the magnetic field. Your emotions and your feelings are your attraction point. You think, you feel, you vibrate, and you attract. Think, feel, act, you get results. It's really think, vibrate, think, feel, vibrate, and attract. So this right here is where all the action happens. That's why Abraham Hicks always says, just feel good. Whatever you do, just feel good. Like this coffee, this mug, everything, it just makes me feel good. I didn't have to drink it. I mean, it's decaf, but it makes me just feel good. And that little dessert bar I had just makes me feel good. And it's healthy. I could have eaten like a big box of cookies, but that would not have made me feel good. But it's just like whatever music, certain music. When I was grocery shopping tonight, I had my ear pods in and I was listening to a YouTube video about manifestation, of course. And then I started listening to some music and it just makes me feel good. So what makes you feel good? No matter what's going on in your life right now, what makes you feel good? Just do it. Is it like a essential oil? Are there flowers in your neighborhood that you can just stick your nose in and smell? Is it like, your favorite pajamas? What makes you feel good? Go window shopping, right? I never had money, and I remember going to was it like Ross or Marshalls, and I would just like smell the candles and look at all the beautiful, like I love fall decorations and Christmas. Or go to department stores and smell all the perfumes, like try on some clothes. I couldn't buy any, but it's like, what makes you feel good? What makes you feel wealthy? What makes you feel abundant? What makes you feel opulent? Okay. So nobody arrives where they're at unexpectedly. It brews up depending on how we're thinking. Elsie was saying that a nerve specialist told her that there are no such thing as sudden breakdowns. We've been preparing for it beforehand, subconsciously. No sudden external force, no influence outside of yourself induces you to commit a crime, except when you have external circumstance. And when that external circumstance, that sudden temptation, accords or matches with the thoughts and feelings that you have long been entertaining within you. So no sudden external force, no influence outside of himself induces a man to commit a crime, except when that external circumstance, that sudden temptation, matches or accords with thoughts and feelings long encouraged by his inner self. One's sudden acts of goodness or evil merely reveal the accumulated power of tendencies that have been slowly gathering inward. The pure in heart cannot indulge in degraded acts, nor can he who does indulge in base thoughts make a practice of uplifting deeds. So do you get that? The pure in heart cannot indulge in degrading acts, and those who indulge in base thoughts rarely practice uplifting deeds. Like, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. By their fruits you'll know him. How people talk, how they walk, how they dress, how they act, how they treat other people is a direct indication of what they got going on in their mind. We really live in an age of transparency. Once you start learning this stuff, it's like you can read someone like a book. You can really read someone like a book. The feeling each person fosters in his innermost heart writes themselves out in his life so plainly that he who runs may read. How many times you have been aware of this with regard to another. In fact, there is not one among your associates or acquaintances whose experiences do not tally with the mental outlooks that have characterized him for years. You really, really can tell a character of a person by knowing how they talk, how they act, and the result in their life. I was just thinking I think about this every day. Like, I'm so grateful I'm sober. Like, just, that was my 1 degree. And it represented a lot of other things, but like, my life would be so different. I probably wouldn't be here. Like, actually, physically, I probably wouldn't be here if I did not get sober. But like, there are different realities. You hear about people talking about timelines, or those movies that have alternate endings. Like, we have infinite alternate endings. Like, we can literally change at any point, like pivot. Like, if we're going down one train track, you know how you can switch the tracks and then you go on a different track, but the decision to switch has to be made, or we will just keep going down that same railroad track. That's why the power is always within us. But I think, like, my God, those characteristics, those thoughts that made me who I was, like, people that knew me back then, like, I don't know what they think. I mean, I don't really associate with anybody from back then when I used to drink, to be honest. They think that I'm probably a whole different person. Like, there's probably a still old reality going on, right? Timelines exist all at once, where it's like another version of me exists. And I'm so grateful that I am not in that version anymore. But just like you, whatever you are going through, there's another version of you that is more successful, more healthy, more wealthy, more wise, more joyous, more content, more happy. And we just have to match that frequency, as they say, by getting in the vibration, by feeling those feelings. That's why I used to get frustrated all the time because I didn't understand it, but like feeling is the secret, like Neville Goddard says. How do you want to feel? First, decide, what do you want? What do you really want? It doesn't have to be something great, it can be, but what do you want? What's one thing that you want? Then how would it feel if you had it right now? Just indulge in that. Just feel it in your bones, just for a couple minutes a day. But right before you go to bed, that would be great. And the more you stay in that feeling, which is a vibration, the more you will train, because your vibration, the more you'll attract, rather. That's why, again, you just have to feel good. So decide, what do you want? What do you really want in any area? Just practice it, just try it, and really feel what you would feel if it was there. Don't think about the how, don't think about like, it's not true, blah, blah. If you can get on board with the feeling of excitement, happiness, relief, safety, abundance, whatever it is, like, it doesn't matter what you feel abundant about. Say you want like $1 million. I remember, I think I was trying to manifest money. I was living in my apartment, and I grew up with like very poverty mentality. And I remember whenever I used to go grocery shopping, and like I got a bunch of sparkling waters, and like I filled my whole fridge with like Pellegrinos or Perriers or whatever. And I would just like, whenever I opened my fridge and I saw like that fully stocked fridge, it was just like I'm rich, like a feeling of abundance. Or like when I fill up my gas tank all the way, right? When I put the credit card in and I just fill it up and I have the money to just fill it all, like I just feel so abundant. It just feels so good. So the more I can do that with the little things, creamer in my coffee, I just feel so abundant. Socks, like a soft pair of socks. Just feel into that feeling, and then you will attract more of it. All right. So, the feelings that each person fosters in their innermost heart writes themselves out on his life so plainly that he who runs may read. So basically anybody can read another person if you can walk, right? How many times you have been aware of this with regard to another? In fact, there is not one among your associates. There's nobody that you know. There's not one person that you know that this isn't true for. I don't care if it's family, friends, significant others, co-workers. How do you feel when you're around them? You can pick up on how they feel. Are they happy? Are they joyous? Are they grumpy? Are they like dead inside? They feel like zombies, right? You know what kind of thoughts they're involved with. What his inner attitudes have matched these outer manifestations. Okay, that his inner attitudes have matched these outer manifestations regardless of all his pretenses to the contrary has been apparently not only to you but to others. So whatever our innermost attitudes will reflect our manifestations regardless of what someone, well, no, that's not what I'm really thinking. Like, y'all, I have a lot of calls, but there was one call that I had recently. This person was just very negative, just very, very negative. And anytime I would present a solution or work with some, just shut it down. And it was very sad. And I was just honest. And I said, everything you're thinking is very negative. And anytime I present something, you continue to kind of argue for your limitation and the negative. And this person, who says it? Napoleon Hill. There's no cure for someone who's addicted to their story. And so you just got to love them, right? Like I literally prayed for this person after. I'm like, oof, that used to be me too. But it's just like, wow. No, this is my point. Is that the person kept saying, but I'm trying, I'm doing all the manifesting, I'm doing all of this, but it's not working. I was like, no, you're not. Like, you might be going through the motions and you don't understand, but like, if you were really doing it, you would have different results. And that was the hardest thing for me. When I was being coached, I kept saying, I know. They're like, no, you don't know, Carla, because if you knew it, you wouldn't be in your situation. Your results would be different. Like, we tell on ourselves all the time. My results are a direct reflection of my thoughts and my vibration. And if what I think I want does not match what's here, I am not being congruent. Like, it's very mathematical. and we can get really frustrated. But, when you surround yourself with people who are actually successful, who understand this material, no one's perfect, but people who have achieved, they've gotten over some things. Like, I'm only able to help people that are where I once was, right? Like anxious, depressed, poor, and addicted. Like all those things, that's where I was. I'm not anymore, thank God. But now I'm iterating. I keep growing to the new level, like new level, new devil. Like when I first made six figures a couple years ago, it's like, wow, my God, I never thought. But now it's like, now I want to make like seven figures and then eight figures. You know what I mean? It's just like I keep reinvesting and the money just keeps going out, right? No matter how much money I make. And that's okay right now. I'm building my business and, all these sorts of things. I'm investing and I'm enjoying my life. I'm so grateful. But new level, new devil. I am most powerfully positioned to serve the person I once was. So clients that I work with usually are getting over limiting beliefs around all areas of life, to be honest. Anxiety, depression, addiction. I mean, it's that poverty mentality. It's a poverty mentality that I had to overcome, and I still do. And I always remember The Rock, my man, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Where's my man? You like my little sticker? His story about $7 and, in his pocket, and he can never really relax. And a lot of people say that. People who have been broke before and now they're rich, like they still get up and they grind and they hustle and they work because they're like, I never want to be poor again. Not in a bad way, but just like we remember what it's like to be poor. It's like, I am so grateful and so appreciative to be able to pay my bills, So those are the kind of people that I attract, people who are not there yet, like I once was. And, hopefully as I continue to grow, I'll just be able to help more people and, on a bigger scale. And yeah, I just love doing this. So remember any of those friends. Okay, it says that his inner attitudes have matched the outer manifestations, regardless of what they're saying inside. So regardless of what the person's saying, I promise, I'm doing all the work. No, you're not. No, you're not. And I'm talking to myself. If I am not getting the results that I want, I am not truly working with my subconscious mind. I mean, I might be working with it, but I haven't gotten there yet. And no need to beat ourselves up. As long as we wake up every day and commit to ourselves, that's all we can do. And it's inevitable. It's the law. It will happen regardless. Recall any person whose friends are shocked to hear that he is a victim of a secret vice. Like anybody's friends who are shocked to hear that he's an addict. Though he may have taken every precaution to conceal it, though every incident connected with it has been guarded against discovery, though not one overt act has betrayed him, yet you had been realizing for a long while that there was something. So no one's gonna if you're around a friend and they have like a secret addiction and then it comes to light, even though he's never shown any sign, he or she hasn't never shown any sign, hasn't let it slip in any way, you're not going to be shocked. You might be surprised, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, they're addicted to pornography or something. But you're like, I had a feeling like there was something, right? Or like somebody who, drinks all the time or like has a problem with alcohol. Even though you never see them flat out lose their poo and then one day they do, it's not going to shock you. It might surprise you. But just like she's saying, you're going to know. We all pick up intuitively. We know what's up. What we are does get over. What we are does get over. And the feelings we habitually entertain make us what we are. What we really are determines how far and how fast we shall go in the world. There is no escaping the penalty or the profit of our innermost feelings. And this is like a little poem. Then let thy secret thoughts be fair. They have a vital part to share in making worlds and molding fate. God's system is so intricate. Intricate. All right, we'll stop there. I am tired and it is now 10:48. How long have I been reading? Like 30 minutes, almost 40 minutes. I hope you enjoyed that. That is video 6 of Elsie Lincoln Benedict's How to Get Anything You Want. You guys, I curled my hair earlier. Look at that. I didn't even get a chance to put it down because look at that. I have not gotten my hair cut in 5 months, you guys. But this haircut really holds up. I was gonna prepare, have my hair down. Look, isn't that nice? I'm grateful for my hair. I really am. I got some good hair and I don't take it for granted. Look at that. Anyways, I curled it today. I did a video earlier. And then when I started this video, I didn't know it was going to start right away, but here we are. Okay, I'll pretend like I had my hair down this whole time. I hope you enjoyed that. Happy Saturday. I'm sleeping in all day tomorrow, and I'm just going to rest and relax for my week, do some meal prep. I wish you the most prosperous weekend, and I will see you next time.